it does is, first of all, it slows your digestion. That's why you get sleepy sometimes. You heard of people say they get like sugar crashes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's because the body isn't absorbing the nutrients or processing whatever they ate appropriately. So you eat the honey bun. The body doesn't know what it's doing because it doesn't have a DNA code on it, so it dumps it. So it dumps it into your blood, or it may dump it into a body part that doesn't belong, like the liver or the kidneys or the heart, anywhere. And it can create other host of issues. So, it's kind of a cause and effect. I'm not saying don't eat a honey bun, because sometimes, I always go by the 80-20 rule.
Mm-hmm.
80% of the time, you're going to really eat great, but then sometimes you want to treat yourself. But you kind of have to consider, is this a treat, or is this something that I'm doing on a consistent basis that may be causing some type of dis-ease, which we call disease, but I say some type of dis-ease in my body? Am I contributing to long-term effects that could be detrimental to my health? And kind of when you shift into your mindset of eating well and living well, you kind of become more motivated and optimized to say, you know what, I'm going to take that 30 minutes today to just buy a bunch of healthy options, package them up really good, and then throw them in my purse. So in that, quick fix time, if I don't have time to eat a full lunch, I can have my peanut butter and apple, and it can satisfy me for that moment, and then I'll go back and eat something later, things like that. So it really is about shifting your mindset, and that's where that holistic piece comes in. Because like I said, I can teach you all day long about nutrition, but if you haven't shifted your mindset and you're not really focusing on all the parts that make up who you are, then something's going to go off balance, and it's going to create you to cause you to create a situation where you're making a difficult or bad choice.
Well, I tell you what, after all of that, I'm throwing that honey bun.
I'm sorry.
No, but it's good. You know what? Because it's making me think. While you was talking, I was just thinking, okay, what mindset was I in when I wanted that honey bun? Because I passed by the fruit. You see what I'm saying? And I could have got a banana. I could have got an apple, but I'm like, no, let me just get this honey bun and just keep on rolling. You know what I'm saying? So it's really good that you're sharing about that. It's not only you telling us and you showing us, but it's our mind.
Yes.
That we have to change the way we think. And that is in everything that pertains to our daily living, really.
Right. Because it really does. I look at it like, and this is something else that I talked about in a recent workshop that I did, but it really is about, especially for women, busy women, prioritizing you. You know what I mean? A lot of times we put ourselves on the back burner, whether we're working with our children or our jobs or our partner, whatever it is, we put ourselves last. So when you think about your self-worth, how much do you value you? Because when you look at it like that, if you value who you are, your body is a temple. God has given us our bodies as a temple, right? So if you really look at your self-worth and how much you are valued, then it really does help you make that turn in your mindset where you're saying, I'm eating well because I value myself.
Right.
It's kind of prioritizing your health and prioritizing who you are, putting it first. And then when you go into the supermarket, you can say, hey, maybe I will pick the grapes or the apple this time because it becomes important to you. You know what I mean? And when it becomes important, you're more mindful of what you're doing because you're important. So looking at it like that really does help make that shift.
Well, when you mention about going into the grocery store and getting fruit and different things. And now, with the prices of fruit and all this stuff that's pretty pricey, most people are going to choose something that's not healthy or, a little minimal or healthy to add to everything else. But how can you eat healthy at the same time when you're on a budget? What would you suggest for us?
Well, I think that a lot of people do say, oh, eating healthy is, really expensive. But I have found that you can eat very healthy on a budget.
Mm-hmm.
It really is about making good choices. A lot of our packaged foods, like your cereals, a box of Pop-Tarts is like $3.50
Mm-hmm.
for one box of Pop-Tarts. And some people would think of that as a quick, easy breakfast, right?
Mm-hmm.
That same breakfast, you could get a dozen eggs for how much? Maybe,
right.
$1.50, $2. I do like to splurge a little bit on my eggs because I do think that, the quality of the, chicken and all of that is important too.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just starting out, a thing of eggs, get you a bag of apples. They're very inexpensive
Mm-hmm.
at the grocery store. Bananas are usually about 49 cents a pound. Okay. You can even eat beans, like black beans, and you have your black-eyed peas and all of these things, very inexpensive. Brown rice, you can get by the bag, very inexpensive. Collards, all of your green leafy vegetables are not going to break your pocket. You have your kales and your collards and broccoli. All these things are very inexpensive options. And also, a lot of times people don't know, this is actually a really hidden secret. Your frozen vegetables are just as healthy as the ones, you find, on the parameters, your fresh fruits and vegetables. So even if you got the frozen greens, the frozen, veggies, and then steam those or lightly cook those, they're still healthy options. It really is about shifting your mindset and making different choices. So people think that it's expensive because they're looking at packaged foods,
Mm-hmm.
okay? Your packaged foods are expensive. If you go around and pick out, a lot of the packaged items, even stuff that says USDA organic, some of it's still packaged and minimally processed. That is going to be expensive. But when you shift your mindset and you start focusing on whole foods, fresh fruits and vegetables,
Mm-hmm.
even if you can't buy, the kiwi, or you may not be able to buy the blackberries that
Mm-hmm.
are like $5 for a little pint,
Mm-hmm.
you still can make healthy options, whole food options with less expensive fruits and vegetables. Another thing that a lot of people don't focus on, and it's very, alarming to me, is water.
Mm.
A lot of times, we jump for, juices and sodas and things like that, which are expensive when you think about how much people are consuming on a daily basis. Just drinking water with fresh lemon it makes a world of difference for your body. Your body is mostly made up of water.
Mm-hmm.
Your major vital organs are over 70% water. So consuming enough water on a daily basis, swapping out the sweet drinks, the fruit drinks, the sodas for water is going to lower your bill as well.
You know what you mentioned?
And you're doing wonders for your body.
Mm-hmm. You mentioned about the water and the lemon. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but I wanted to just really have you share the benefit of that. Because there are people that don't like to drink water. And I know that since I've been on your website and since we've been talking, I have switched to water with lemon every morning. All day long, I'm just drinking it. So can you share the benefit of what the lemon does to your body, or the water and the lemon combined does?
Absolutely, of course. So water, alone is amazing and wonderful for your body. Of course, I would want you to try to get, the filtered option. Water that's more alkaline is also better for you. But drinking water anyway is going to do wonders for the body. What we're doing, though, I always talk about maximizing the nutritional capacity of what you're eating, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing with water. When you add certain components to water, it actually zoops up the nutritional capacity of the water. So lemon is my favorite because it's a natural detoxer. So, detox is all the craze, right?
Mm-hmm.
You hear it all over social media. Everybody's talking about a detox. Well, the truth is, your major vital organs detox on a daily basis. So when you're detoxing, you're not doing anything that your body is not already doing. But what you're doing is when you do things like drinking the lemon water, you're fortifying the organ that it supports. So you're fortifying and cleansing your liver when you add that lemon water to what you're doing, what you're drinking, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So the liver is your major detox organ. It's going to filter out all the bile in your system. So when you drink your lemon water first thing in the morning, you're giving your liver a boost. That's why I say drink the lemon in the water, because it gives you that daily boost, and it kind of gives your liver that zoot to help it work even at its most optimum capacity.
That's
so
really
that's
good.
what the lemon does.
Mm-hmm.
But also, there's other things you can do to water. Sometimes people kind of have a aversion to water, drinking it. They don't like the taste of it. Well, all kind of excuses. But you can put fresh fruits in your water, and it actually helps rehydrate it even more. So when you add like cucumbers to the water, you're actually, because cucumbers are made up of almost all water anyway, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when you add the cucumbers to your water, you're actually hydrating your water even more. So it gives it even more of a chance to saturate those cells and rehydrate the cells in your body. But you can also add mint leaves. Some people like that. I call it my aqua mojito.
Mm-hmm.
You just put a little mint leaves and lemon in it and shake it up, and it's very good. You can add strawberries, blueberries, pretty much any fresh fruit can be added to water to help it taste better, but also give it more nutrients.
Wow, that's really good. Marlene, you mentioned that you're a founder and owner of, what's that, Nutrition Love Thrive. Can you share that a little bit about what that is and how my listeners, if they're interested in hearing more or connecting to you or talking to you more about, how can they reach you? How can they get in contact with you?
Okay, well, Nourish Love Thrive is my actual company, and it keeps the total person in mind. Remember, we talked about the holistic properties of nutrition and wellness, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Nourish, Love, Thrive, to me, are the main components that make up an individual. Like I said before, it starts with food. So you're going to want to make sure you're prioritizing yourself, you're showing yourself some self-respect, and you're eating foods that optimize the nutritional capacity of, what your body needs to function at on a daily basis, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you're going to focus in on nourishing. What's important is self-love and self-care, what I like to call radical self-care. So that's where that love component comes in. Because when you start to love yourself and you master that part of yourself, then it helps you shift the mindset to do what? Make the best nutritional choices that you can. And that also includes not only nutrition, but movement, meditation, and all those other components. And then we get to the Thrive piece. And the Thrive, I like to say, it's that busy woman that has pretty much mastered the nourish and the love component, and she's thriving now. She's loving herself. She's feeding her body whole, real foods, and now she's living a lifestyle that is relative to how she's taking care of herself. So in my Thrive component, I've also added in a wellness apparel line that I have. It's called Kale and Lipstick. And so Kale and Lipstick is a T-shirt wellness apparel line that really does celebrate this woman that puts herself first, that values her nutrition, and really hones in on living well, but being cute at the same time. Because you don't have to, have on rags to live well. You can still live well and be a diva and be fabulous, right? So that's where that Kale and Lipstick comes in.
Well, you know what?
So pretty much that is the breakdown of the Nourish, Love, and Thrive. And that is my company that I have currently.
Well, thank you, Marlene, for all that you have shared today. And I hope that our listeners will have received some knowledge and insight as well as some wisdom. And I want to close by saying this. Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prospers. So continue to listen to me on every Monday and Friday at 9:05 a.m. right here on TNR radio station. Thank you again, listeners. And thank you again, Marlene, for coming and sharing your life and your personal story. God bless.